Let's talk about the Headrush Pedalboard today. So what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name is Ray. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube, and I just wanted to do this video because I'm really passionate about the Headrush Pedalboard. I've had several of these units throughout my life in the half decade that this thing's been around. It's not necessarily the new kid on the block anymore. There's a ton of videos out there. A ton of people have their opinions on these things, but I just wanted to just do a video showcasing mine for a number of reasons. One reason, I really sincerely love this thing. This is probably the most fun modeling unit because you can touch it and manipulate it, and that's just, the user experience is just really fun in my opinion. But also too, I use this very unit across the country. I played with this guitar, this pedal board, and then into the front of a tube rig. So I use this as like my pedal board for the tones and effects. And just tools because it has a tuner on here as well. Basically use this as my pedal board in front of the amplifier. So I also want to show you guys how I do that because I have a preset here called Gate Board because it has multiple gates on it and it's my pedal board. That's where that title comes from. Very original. But right now I just want to show you some tones. I'm using a gnarly setup. You heard it in the playthrough in the beginning real quick. I'm using a Soldano of sorts it looks like, as well as a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. From 92 it's modeling, and then we have the SL100 extended range. So I'm assuming that's the Soldano SLO. But yeah, man, this is just a real quick just rundown of what I have. In the front, I have 2 noise gates, have an octave switch for funsies. The overdrive is on all the time because boosting, you know, high gain amplifiers with the green JRC OD, the tube screamer looking thing, makes sense. And then just in the post effects have delay, reverb, graphic EQ, which kind of scoops it out a little bit more. And then last but not least, we have the Bogren Digital Chris Chicola pack. So this is the last thing in my chain. So I'm viewing all these effects like in the effects loop, if you will. And then it hits the cabinet last. And I'm just using a chainsaw IR, which sounds absolutely disgusting, and I love it. So that's what I'm rocking with this rig. So, I think this sounds pretty solid, man. Now, in terms of like, does this sound better than, you know, some of the other modeling units? I mean, that's up for interpretation. What I can say is I like it enough to where like I actually did use this very setup and then use the Seymour Duncan power stage to power my Mesa cabinet. I did that live like once or twice just for funsies, and I was not disappointed in that. So you know, to answer the question of do I like the sound of it? Yeah, I like the sound of it. You know what I mean? Just I like the modeling. It gets the job done. This is the least expensive out of almost all the modeling units out there for the size and what it does. So, you know, if somebody thinks that another unit sounds better than this or this sounds bad, I mean, I got a chainsaw IR and, you know, a dual rectifier and a Soldano. It's not meant to be completely polished with Jazzmaster pickups. It's a pretty gnarly tone. So, I like it enough to where it's fun, and I like to just jam with it. I'll show you the graphic EQ real quick, just because like it scoops things out a lot. So here. So it just makes it sound more metal, you know, more scooped. Gets rid of some of the mids, but that's in the back half and the effects loop, if you will. But overall, man, yeah, just that's like my my tone that I've been just playing around with, having fun with. I enjoy it, man. You know, it's maybe not the best sounding in the world. I don't know. I haven't shot out other modelers or anything. But like I said, it's fun enough for me and good enough for me to just jam with and have some fun and, you know, make content with it and record with it, all the above. So, yeah, and as a like modeling unit, I think this serves, you know, its purpose, and it's, you know, solid in my opinion, right? So now I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to put this thing in front of a dual rectifier and show you how I would use it as like a quote-unquote pedal board. So stay tuned. All right, so I've switched everything around now. Now, if you look on camera 2, I have the preset called Gate Board. So now this is running into the front of my Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. And this is where like I use this unit in front of an amplifier, but there is one thing that I want to bring up that is confusing, and I'm not sure if I'm missing something, but I'll explain it here. So here's what it sounds like in front of my dual rectifier going through my aux box. So that's how it sounds in front of my Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. Gets the job done. You know, now it's not necessarily for me. It's more or less just, does it do the things that I need it to do? Does it have a BPM on it if I want it? Does it have a tuner? Does it have an overdrive? Does it have a chorus? Just the things that I like to put in front of my amplifiers. Rather than have an analog board, another option is this right here. So I don't look too far into it past that. Like, does it work? Is it reliable? I'm cool with that. Sound at like deafening levels at a club or a venue just are kind of like an afterthought, like the sonic qualities of things. It's more or less just to get the job done. For me, in a live setting where it's incredibly loud, you can't hear the nuances. That's what I'm trying to say. But one thing that's kind of interesting and kind of something I want to bring up as kind of a negative in my opinion is like when you want to use this as a pedal board in front of your amplifier, you have to kind of gauge the gain with the master volume of the unit. This unit itself could serve as a boost without anything on the board. Check this out. So it boosts the signal on its own, and then if you have an overdrive on, and now you're really boosting, And so for me, it was always kind of problematic, especially like if you're trying to set up quickly or whatever, even at home. Sometimes I forget that the master volume adjusts the overall signal of the unit. So unless I got something wrong here, I think what would be cool, I guess, in a way, is if there was a way to set this up, and I could be wrong, it could be there, I just don't know of it, but you set it up as if it was just like a patch cable, like it carried the same signal from your input to your output to your amplifier, like if it just served as like a cable at like unity gain or whatever it's called. And there may be a way to do that, and I'm just naive to it if there is such a thing, but I just found that to be like, oh, that'd be cool, like just use it as a pedal board. It's like a buffered signal, and like it's a fixed setting, and you don't have to worry about where your master is. Just something to think about. I don't know if that's, you know, a huge, I don't know if anybody else has brought that up. I don't know if it's a, you know, unnecessary complaint. All the above. I just found it interesting that the master volume dictates your signal as well, without even having any pedals on it. So yeah, just found that to be a little bit interesting. But overall, everybody, apart from that, there's a lot of pros with this unit. Like I said, I've owned Headrushes for many years off and on, ever since they kind of came out. And I always find myself coming back to them. They're fun. They're really easy to set up, the different parameters and, you know, all that. If you want to adjust all this stuff, it's all there. It's really easy. You can hardware assign all these buttons, and they're labeled not only with colors but also with the names automatically. Really fast and really easy to do stuff on the fly. There's a hands-free mode that I don't even really mess with, but that's there. Long story short, man, I really sincerely love the Headrush, and you know, I haven't tried every single modeling unit, but I think I have the most fun with the Headrush stuff. Just being able to manipulate it, and just at a rapid thing, you don't have to like go through like a bunch of different screens and you know, get the little fine tuners and really dial it in. It's kind of just quick, easy on the fly. So for that alone, I really sincerely love it. And that's why I wanted to play it live and on tours, because if something goes wrong, I know this unit a lot more, just on how to troubleshoot and problem solve, rather than say like the Helix or something like that. This is the one I'm most familiar with, and I think it's the easiest to use. May not be the best sound, that's up for somebody to debate. I like it enough to where I don't mind using it, you know, so that's kind of like where I stand with that. But overall, man, you know, Headrush Pedalboard, solid little unit, and I just wanted to make this video just kind of just showing you guys how I use it, man. This isn't a sponsored video or anything like that, just me and you hanging out and just me showing off my cool toys, I guess, alright? So everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay metal. I'll see you guys next time. Later.